Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of the Skytorn. I'm your host and game master, Brandon Ross. Surrounding me in this lovely Discord call is the table of my fantastic players and adventurers whose stories we will be seeing unfold on this fantastic channel. Before we get too far into this, real fast social media plug. We have some fantastic things in the works for all of you. Just gonna make it super, super quick because again, I really want to be focused, especially beginning episodes, on getting my players as much microphone time as I can get them because I've read their backstories. They've made everybody went all out, and I really want the community to explore these characters. So super fast. If you're enjoying the content you see here, please check out our Discord. Come join us. We love hanging out with all of you, and as we get more and more members, we'll do more and more things we can to have more things like monthly one-shots and things of that nature. Or if you are just feeding for some D&D, within our Discord, you will find links to the West Marches server that we have so lovingly made a fantastic professional friendship with. I believe, I don't want to get this name wrong because I have 600 Discord servers I'm a part of personally that are all tied together. The Ashurma Land of Prosperity.
Mm-hmm.
So feel free to come check us out. I'll get those links in chat here in a second. Also, we have 1,001 socials. For some reason, the everything just went psycho on stream. I don't know what button I pressed, but that was odd and interesting.
I swear I didn't say I did the math.
um, we're on pretty much every platform of social media you can find. So if you want to see how kind of our inner workings are going in our minds and when we're free to roam on social media pages, check us out. We have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. On our TikTok, it's blows me away the reach we have on our social media platforms. Kelly, our social media manager here, showed me some of the views for just introductions of characters. It's like over 1,000 already. I'm like, what? It was character introductions. This is amazing.
On TikTok,
Yeah.
it's still growing too.
Oh God, that's great.
Just us saying our names.
I'm not nervous at all. Anyways, let's head straight into tonight's episode. Where we left off, and I will leave off with the less intensive and more prudent of life-threatening situations first. Are what do you want? Moobot is yelling at me via messages, and I'm trying to figure out why. I'm sorry, y'all. I'll figure it out later. Our lovely party had come together from their various sources to being a performer in the streets, delivery being ran, or just watching out for the local innocents of the streets. Three of them, known as Red, Drakex, and Eva, came together, deciding to stick together, that numbers were better. They were able to make their way through the sprawling city stone streets into more dirt roads and paths and ranch lands to the Surwich fields, as a delivery was to be made to a very particular apothecary. One, rumor had it, inhabited by a witch. Upon arriving at the aforementioned store, they came across Elysia and an individual who only introduced themselves as the Doctor. After having a bit of conversation, the delivery was made. When seeing they were apart their ways, frantic knocks came at the front door of this building, and seemed that a sky shark attack had happened, and one of the ranch heads was severely attacked. Unfortunately, by the time they got there for this particular one, it was too late. Prior to this, the Doctor and Elysia had established a bit of arcane divine healing, saving the individual's life of one of the ranch heads, but for this one, it seemed that for the Moss Scale family, one of their sons was lost. Returning to gather their minds and themselves to the apothecary, two of them decided that they wanted to visit a very peculiar quote unquote funeral home, mortuary within the city. The Doctor and Red making their way out having a bit of conversation before using one of the various Weave Tech railways to try to get a bit closer. Being probably about a good hour and a half away from where they wanted to be, they began to walk across the rather boring and open ranch fields. As night came upon them, they brought up their light cantrip. I believe, Red, you were responsible for that?
Yes, I was.
Okay. Did you cast it on anything, like your hand or an object, or did you just tip your finger?
A pebble.
A pebble. Okay, so you grabbed a rock off the ground and just boom, giving that large. I believe it was 40 and 40 or 20 and 20 for the cantrip. Was that correct?
20 and 20.
20, giving you 20 feet of bright light and 20 feet of dim light beyond that. You began to hear this peculiar, low, guttural snarling and growling as you both, almost at the same time, looked to where the source of this was, and you saw, for being your first time seeing such a creature up close, a rather large, floating, shark-like creature that seemed to be doing its beginning of predatory circle around the two of you.
Insert jaw thing.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll say we're going to go ahead and roll initiative just so I can have that on file here, and then we will go through that because combat hasn't started yet, but just due to the intensity of the situation, I want to go ahead and have that ready. Oh!
You're not supposed to use that on initiative.
You're not supposed to use that on
sorry.
initiative. It's a natural
We're good here.
20.
You know what?
Jesus Louises.
The exact opposites of the spectrum.
For
Wow.
real.
Yep.
Red,
Well,
please let us know what you got.
what do I got?
The doctor rolled
what is your
natural
initiative, Red?
1 on initiative.
22.
22, and then a nat 1. Do you have any modifiers to your initiative, or are you at a 1?
I have a +1.
You're at a solid 2. At least not a
Solid.
0, right?
Solid.
Could be
Yeah.
worse.
All of a sudden,
Could
he's
be
not
a
even on the
0.
map. He's not even on the map anymore. Like they tell him, like you got to.
Yeah,
this one
you
out,
start
bud.
your turn next round.
Nat 20 and a nat 1. Jesus.
I love you both so
I
much.
used all my good rolls last night.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, you
Super fast thing. Rot is my game master along, and Kelly and I play in a Tuesday night game. This man rolled more 20s than I can possibly remember in one session. So yeah, he's that kind of GM.
I doubled
Did you-
that 20 my barbarian.
Anyways,
last night.
Oh, nice.
No.
Yeah,
Let me
his
grab
brother too.
my
Yeah.
dice for my creature. Oof. What is your modifier? Do you have a modifier? Oh, you do. Nice. He actually good. That's funny, actually. Okay. Top of initiative. Red, what are you doing? And for this, would be a little theater of the mind. I did make a map for my players, but it's not super intensive, so I'm not going to bring it on the stream tonight.
She will go ahead
So-
and cast
Go ahead.
Mage Armor.
Okay, you cast Mage Armor. As you begin to survey the scene, the two of you in this just completely open, mostly rolling plains, grasslands kind of an area. Again, this being much for a ranch land where the beasts to be, consumed at some point in time are raised. Currently, there's no fenced areas around you, nothing like that. You don't have any landscape really to obscure anything aside from just the darkness that surrounds you. But I believe neither of you have dark vision. One of you does. Something like
Nope.
that? Neither of you.
Hold on. I don't know.
So the only light that is available to you is the 40 feet of dim light available. So it's just on the creature you see floating, probably about, I'd say, 3 to 4 feet And again, at this point, the cloud cover as well has rolled in. It's probably about, I'd say, similar to 3 to 4 feet tall. It's almost as if this creature is just at the top of the cusp, almost breaching up and down through that cloud cover. I would say anything below 2 feet of you is going to be hard to see through at a distance. I'd say probably within the first like 10 to 15 feet, you can kind of peer through shadows and shapes. But anything beyond that, it's like having your brights on in fog. It's just a bad day.
All right.
So you cast Mage Armor. Do you have anything you wish to do with your bonus action? Do you want to move?
No, she is. I don't think she can bonus action dodge, can she? No, that's a different character. Nope. She's gonna make sure she's holding the pebble up to where
Just
things
as
can
high
be
as you
seen.
can.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
And that's it.
It is the creature's turn. I will roll to see what its actions are. I'm going to need me a d6. Use my lovely metal dice for this. You can hope maybe hear the thud of them against that roll. I don't know. We'll see.
Depends on what you're rolling it on.
True. I should go get me like a little glass. I should get like a stone or glass dice tray just to make it more intimidating.
Well, you don't
Just
want
get-
glass.
Yeah, stone.
Take a cutting board.
Oh,
There you
yeah, there
go.
we go. Okay, the creature is going to... What's its movement? It's going to use its full movement. Whoops. And it just absolutely... You see it, Red and Doctor, as it eyes the light source. And you watch as it dives down, and then that telltale fin just shoots through this cloud cover and goes straight for the Doctor. As it does, you see it come up just a bit. As its mouth opens, it's going to attempt to bite you.
All right.
Does a 13 hit?
No, it does not, because I cast Mage Armor at the end of last session.
You did. That's right. So, Red, just as you... do you use a casting focus? Or, Red, do you use a casting focus, or do you have the components?
I have a casting focus.
Red.
I believe I also have a casting focus.
Okay, so as you hold onto that focus and the shimmer of energy washes over your body, Red, you watch and you can see firsthand the effectiveness of this as the sky shark comes in and its mouth almost tries to take the shoulder off of the Doctor, and you see as his teeth bear down, you see just like that portion of the armor just brighten up, and for a minute you can see the arcane force fully apparated as the shark just grinds its teeth against it before it finally backs off angrily.
Oh, and just for flavor, my casting focus is a red crystal that looks like it has fire trapped inside of it.
Ooh, okay.
Yep.
The end of the creature's turn. Doctor, it is your turn.
Well, to add on to this some flavor, I will take my casting focus, which is a steel syringe containing a red liquid.
Ooh.
Ooh.
It's already about a third missing because I used it to cast Mage Armor on myself.
All right.
So, and I'll be using another third of it to cast. Actually, I'm going to cast Cause Fear.
Cause fear.
Ooh.
Okay.
I would like a wisdom save, please.
Absolutely.
Lovely.
Oh my god, it's gonna be awful. Unless I roll
Oh.
great. 10.
That does not make my DC a 15.
Okay.
Your friendly Sky Shark is now afraid of me.
Ooh.
Okay. Does anything else happen, or it just becomes frightened of you?
It becomes frightened me until the end of the spell. It can repeat a save throw at each end of each turn.
Okay.
Yeah, it's basically fears for its own mortality. That's all it has. So
Okay.
all attacks on me would be at disadvantage.
Okay, so you hold up your casting focus, and as you press upon the syringe, Red, you watch as this crimson liquid sprays a bit out of it before it just seems to vanish into arcane energy, and you watch it as it glazes over the Sky Shark's vision, and you actually, for a minute, you can see it kind of withdraws a bit from the doctor.
Nice.
Anything else for your turn?
That would be ending my turn.
Okay, Red.
Excellent. So she's gonna go ahead and shoot off a firebolt at this
Ooh.
thing.
Roll a hit.
Oh no, 10.
10?
Mm-hmm.
That does not hit.
Yep. And she doesn't have a bonus action at the moment, so that would be it.
Okay, as you release a spell, it from the fear that the doctor caused, and it recoils back a bit. Where it would have been a nice headshot, it goes right under the creature, and you watch as like the clouds do like that tunnel part for a minute as you, woof, and then they
Nice.
reclose.
Yep.
Okay.
That's my turn.
All right, ends your turn and goes to the Sky Shark. Is it smart enough? What's its intelligence? No, it is not. So attacks against you at disadvantage, Doctor.
Yes. When
correct?
you're fighting of a creature, any attacks on that creature will be at disadvantage.
Got it. Thank you very much. It goes in again, just out of a fear of frenzy, and it tries to clamp down on you on your arm this time. You hold it to defend yourself, and again, you watch as almost like this full plate arcane substance apparates around your upper forearm and fist, and you hold it off as you just watch this creature literally chew and grind its teeth against it. You actually watch one of the teeth like pop off and before you finally manage to wrestle it off. End of the creature's turn. Doctor, your turn.
All right. I will be moving 5 feet away from Red and still trying to maintain melee range with the shark.
Okay, so you look at Red and you kind of like begin to maneuver yourself to a better position.
Please stand back, Miss Red. And I will be casting Word of Radiance. Would you please give me a con save?
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Oh, hang on. I need to do something real quick. You said at the end of each turn, the creature gets a chance to save against your fear.
You are correct.
Nope. And then I need a wisdom save.
Con save.
Con save. Not awful.
It's a 13.
It is when you roll that bad. Fail.
All right. That will be 4 radiant damage as a amount radiant words begin flowing from me as I speak in celestial.
Okay.
And
Red,
bursting
do you
in a
understand
5-foot
celestial?
radius.
I do.
What do you say, Doctor?
I say a short prayer to the goddess Brigantia.
Okay.
Nice.
He begins to speak this incredibly interwoven arcane casting and divine prayer, and as the words almost seem to double speak over each other, you can see from under the mask of the doctor there's this quick burst of divine energy, and over the creature you just see this inflict of just bruises and like someone just beat the crap out of it in an instant. You just watch boom, and the creature just kind of begins to slowly canter to one side, its fins going slack, and it begins to slowly move over and go essentially belly up. The creature is destroyed.
Oh, nice.
All right.
Well, that certainly worked well. Thank you.
My pleasure. That bite force is about as powerful as I expected it to be.
All right. few moments pass by, you look around, you feel relatively safe.
I should probably mention that. No, never mind. That's at a higher level. Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's it. You
Hmm.
don't really sense anything else coming through the clouds.
Mhm.
If we feel safe enough, I think it's time to keep moving on.
We should probably keep moving, yes.
Okay. You continue the rest of the way, eventually making your way back to the apothecary.
Mhm.
And
I'll take the
would
key that Elysia gave me and unlock the door.
you... How many locks did you lock, Elysia?
Just one, because I knew he had a key for it.
Okay. Thank you very much. I wasn't sure if you would have gone ham on the
No.
locks or not.
No. I at
So
least remembered that.
you
I
unlock
will
the
lock
door.
all of them back when we're both in.
It's rather late. Anybody who is still awake, you would hear the and the unlocking and opening of the door. Anybody?
Yeah,
Is anybody gonna be
Elysia.
Drac just
late?
looks over because he's like probably just rusting downstairs. He's just like, oh, you guys find anything interesting?
Isha.
Ah, big one, small one, medium size.
Looked big to me.
I don't have anything else to compare it to than the one I examined yesterday, so I look to be the same size.
Okay. Probably still out there. Okay. Well, at least you guys are back in one piece. That's all that matters.
Right. The doctor's very good with his magic.
Thank you. Yours is quite impressive as well.
If I could manage to hit anything, maybe.
Just takes practice.
Mm.
Well, maybe one day I'll actually enjoy this show, if that's the case.
Maybe one day.
I'll get some rest though. Linger here, rest where I can, and yeah.
All right. You think we should lock all the locks now?
Yes, and the doctor will turn around and shut the door fully and lock all the locks back.
Okay. Is there any other conversation or business anybody wishes to handle before we move into a long rest and go to the morning?
I'm good.
Unless any questions are asked of me, no.
Nah, I'm good.
All right. This will be 2 nights so far. So yeah. Eva.
I believe we made that check. The DC is 14, and that was a success.
That's right. It was. Okay. So you are good.
My question to you is that going up by +1 every time? Did we agree on that? I wasn't sure.
Yes. For every success, it does increase.
Okay. I knew it went up. I just wasn't sure if it was a +1 or a +2. We had decided.
5-1.
So
So your next DC is
Yeah.
15.
correct.
Okay. All of you get a full night's rest. Nothing seems to come into night. There's no late night rapid knocks at the door. But you do wait the next morning. What do you wish to do?
When it comes to the next morning, Drac is already probably unlocked the door, standing about 5 feet from it, and just taking a very deep breath of the morning air and relaxing a bit. And also kind of stretching out too.
Okay.
Elysia gets up, opens the door to the office, to the study, and kind of sticks her head out real quick to see if anybody's nearby, and then opens the door real quick, and then shuts it so nobody
Okay.
can see in there, and then goes downstairs to her garden to do her morning prayer.
Okay. Drakex, as you wake up and you open the front door and begin to take that breath of air, the similar sight for you as you have traveled to this island before. Is there still how early would you have gotten up? Would you be a dawn riser, a little after, before?
A little, like about 20 minutes before dawn.
Okay, so at that point in the day, the island is still in its lowered position. So as you open it up, some of the cloud cover begins to just harmlessly flow in. It's cool, crisp. Certainly this time of year as the beginning into the colder months of this region. But it is refreshing. It's probably about, I'd say, a solid, at this point, it's for you, it's mostly just thick fog, whatever you can see.
Mm-hmm.
But there is light, a bit of far off in the distance. You can kind of catch a bit of the oranges and purples of the sun coming up, especially as you don't feel, it's difficult to really feel the island make its shift to ascend above the clouds. But again, you have been here long enough, and except for the doctor, the rest of you have lived here long enough to know that usually about 30 minutes to an hour after dawn, the island is at its full height.
Yeah, so watching the proverbial cloud setting as it is, and sunrise, he goes through his morning stretches and offers up a more like a promise and prayer, but to who nobody really knows. He never actually voices it. It's just a very low mumble that he's actually done in Draconic.
Okay.
Afterwards, he turns around, goes inside, and he would start to see about making coffee.
Okay.
We have coffee?
Homegrown too.
Uh-huh.
The doctor would probably, for his morning routine, do his morning ritual in a secluded part of the house.
Okay.
So that, no one disturbs him.
Eva, Red?
Red is doing her thing in her room, getting ready for the day. Or, well, not her room. I guess a room
A
alone.
room, yeah.
Which room did you pick? Because they're two very different looking rooms.
Whichever one was free. Where were you guys?
Elysia was in the study that
Elysia's
nobody's
in the
allowed to go
study.
in.
No one can go in.
Uh,
Doctor was in another room that had a larger bed.
So he was in
I
the nice,
believe
clean bedroom.
Drac took a couch,
mhm.
I believe.
Yes, he did.
Eva, I don't know if we established that. And so there's 2 rooms left or 1 room left after those.
One
One
room.
room left. Okay. What does that room look like?
Oh God, it essentially is where the doctor's room is very nice, simple, clean, very like a I don't want to say adult, but it looks like the master bedroom.
Okay.
Bedroom Red stays in. There's kind of like just this twin bed, old as fuck, like the wood's kind of, there's probably like some like, okay, this is falling apart, trying to fix it and everything. Books everywhere.
Mhm.
And depending on if you look at the books, I'll let you know what some of them. It's like there's like stuff for sewing. It is a very chaotic mess in
Mhm.
a small room with a lot of plant growth and a couple of mice running around.
Cute.
Yeah, essentially think of Howl's Moving Castle, his bedroom, kind of.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of little toys, and knickknacks, trinkets, and everything. So yeah,
Okay.
Would Eva be sharing the room with Red?
She would not.
Oh. Well, Red will be getting ready all by her lonesome, making sure her hair looks nice, getting her one little braid straight that she always wears.
Okay.
Um,
oh yeah, and the mirror in the there's like a vanity. The mirror's kind of cracked. Just to let you know.
so she's kind of. Hold on, let me see if I've got something. No, I don't. Okay. She's using the mirror as best she can to make sure that
Okay.
all of her clothing looks very presentable, and the one braid looks nice before she comes downstairs.
Okay. What is left to constitute a place to sleep in your building / apothecary, Elysia?
Yeah, it would either have to be downstairs in the shop, like have a couch upstairs, but also probably have seating downstairs as well. Kind of like kind of a sense like if somebody comes in and they're having health issues, they can sit there, or like somebody's order, they can wait, kind of like a little waiting area. So there's probably like a couch and a love seat around
Okay.
there with like a table.
So, Eva, I would imagine you were given some nice thick blankets to use as extra bedding, and then like a regular blanket to keep yourself warm during the night.
Sounds perfect.
So I don't run an inn, I run an apothecary.
You wake up to the sound of shuffling dragonborn feet and what seems to be some kind of a like grinding stones almost. But as you're wondering, like, what is that sound? The smell of freshly ground coffee hits your senses, Eva.
You better be making enough for everyone.
She just sees him turn with a very large pot in his hand. What was that? And this pot would be big enough to actually feed a crew of 30. And he's just like, huh? Oh, yes.
Nope. Never mind.
Mhm.
Keep doing that.
You're doing the Lord's work for her.
You watch as this gem scaled dragonborn just grinds up a lot of coffee into this like cheesecloth like fabric, and you see him as he closes it up and does his best to get it as tight as he can, ties it shut with some string, boils the water, and sets the packed coffee grounds into the hot water.
Waking up under her breath, she is going to mutter a spell real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, Drax is just like really at the moment focused on this. It's like if there was a bomb that went off behind him, he would never have known. If somebody managed to make him
Not
spill his
until
coffee,
after the
that
bean
is a
juice.
problem. Like, you do not mess with this man and his coffee.
Okay. So you get that going. All of you are beginning to do your various morning rituals, things like that. The spell you cast, if you want to just message it to me so I can be aware of what it is, that's fine. You don't need to
Yeah,
let it out
I got
here.
you.
Thank you. And with that, I would say, given time to make enough food for everybody, get the coffee ready, things like that, a good 45 minutes to an hour, 15 minutes have passed. All of you gather at this small, I don't want to say ramshackle table, but I would imagine that Elysia would have a decent sturdy table. But if I'm imagining the current descriptions of the apothecary, it's mostly overtaken by plants, notes, spices,
Mm-hmm.
other
Yeah.
ingredients, and there's really enough space kind of like perfectly carved out for her to sit somewhere. So you're all just kind of like either just randomly about the apothecary, just sitting in some of the chairs, eating on the counter, things like that. Very.
Oh, Red for sure has her mage hand holding the
You
plate.
just holding your food.
That sounds about right, in all
Uh-huh.
honesty.
Yep.
Okay, I'll say for the purpose of that, just like pretty much think that you're holding like, I know it's not a concentration spell, but just for fun, we'll just say you're having concentration on it to keep it going.
Okay.
It's a cantrip. You're not gonna abuse that, and if you do, I'll just track it down. Shortly, as you all begin to get into breakfast, there is a very gentle knock at the door. Just very simple, very short, just 3 quick.
He's gonna look to everybody else like, do you want me to get that?
Elysia, already used to this, just hears the knock, stands up, and goes downstairs to open the door, doesn't even say anything. This is the third day, so, you know.
Red is
Yeah.
absolutely following along behind her with her plate and the mage hand.
Okay,
Still eating as she's walking.
perfect.
Elysia opens the door, not even looking through there, asking who it is.
What you see before you, I think here, yeah, is a very familiar half-elven figure in, I wouldn't say ornate armor, but definitely a cut above most. On
Yeah.
his left side is a bit of a deep cerulean, like almost like a lapel, kind of
Yeah.
denoting he is of rank. Red, you immediately recognize the individual from yesterday and other previous professional run-ins you've had with them. This is Gallon, as you know him. To you, Elysia, this is the individual who seemed to be kind of in charge of running things you ran into when you were over at the Moss Scale Ranchlands.
Okay.
Can you spell that for me?
Moss. And
Oh no,
then,
Gallet.
oh, Gallon, Galan.
Oh, perfect. Awesome. Thank you.
Good morning. Do you I mean, I figure you need something if you're here.
He just kind of looks at you and, yes, good morning. I need and he just kind of looks at Red for a moment. And you've had your interaction with the individual before. You know that they're very typically by the book, but they do their best to present that as a front. But underneath it, you know that push comes to shove, this individual is going to do what's best for the people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying like you haven't seen him take bribes, you haven't seen him be, corrupted, but you definitely seen him, snatch somebody up who was just having a hard time, and he would probably slide him a copper or two, and after giving them a quote unquote talking to, send them on their way. So he just kind of locks eyes with you, Red, and it just gives you that look, and very cautiously, just between his index finger and his middle finger, there's this like piece of folded parchment folded in fourths, and he just extends it slowly towards you, Red.
Oh, lovely to see you again. What can I do for you? And she will take the parchment and unfold it and start to read.
He just nods. Well, it was nice not seeing either of you, because I certainly wasn't here. And he just leaves.
Noted. Do be careful.
But I just saw you. You're standing right here.
No,
at my door.
Alicia, you're fine. We're supposed to not see him, but he doesn't want to say that out loud. Have a good day. Be careful. We did run into some more sky sharks last night. So,
Wait a minute,
You
just
just
so
hear
you're
him kind of say, "I know."
This is Elysia is so confused. She's seen this dude. He said he didn't, and then all of a sudden she's like, "You ran into a sky shark."
Okay,
What
no,
is
no, no.
going on right now?
All right, slow down, darling.
You
Take a deep
read
breath.
the piece of paper, and it says, "Found sky shark body in Sirwich Fields nearby. Double patrols. Concerned. No one saw anything."
It appears they're taking this more seriously now. They are doubling patrols. She goes to hand the paper to Elysia.
I'm just so confused. The land sharks are attacking. The dragonborn yesterday said something about whatever's behind this, or whoever's behind this. I'm so confused right now as she reads it. What do you think that means? As she looks up to Red, she
know,
said
trouble.
she said who? Like maybe she thought it wasn't a sky shark that killed her son.
Maybe there's something driving the sky sharks.
Well,
What this,
well,
though,
well,
means...
yeah. I mean, me and the doctor looked at it the other day whenever we took apart that one. It was kind of neat seeing it. It tried to float away. I put a flower pot on it and everything, but it still tried to. I had to hold on to it. But go ahead.
What it means, though, is they're taking more note. They're doubling patrols. They're having people out there. Maybe the people will be more safe, I suppose. He could also very well be telling us that there will be double patrols, so we need to watch our step.
Well, I mean, I try to watch my step all the time, but I still end up tripping.
My dear, that is a colloquialism. It's a saying. We need to be more careful. If we're going to look into this and see what's going on, there will be more patrols.
So confused, and I don't know why I'm so popular all of a sudden. As she just finally shuts the door.
Be sure to lock it, dear.
No, that's second nature. She's like, just her arms are automatically like, you can tell she's not even putting even any thought into locking the door. It's just automatic.
Well, we should go and tell the others.
Yeah. Yeah, we should.
Do you have any other questions?
Oh, I got a bunch.
Okay, let's address them all at once all together. And she kind of links arms, if allowed, with Elysia and goes back to where everybody else is.
Okay.
Eva is deep in this cup of amazingness, trying to wake up.
So you remember that lovely gentleman from earlier yesterday that we saw? Soldier looked like.
Ah, yes, I remember him.
He was here, but said he was also not here. He said it was great to not see us, if you catch my drift.
Is
Oh, lovely. What
Mhm.
do you want?
Oh, he handed us this, and she will hand over the piece of paper. Looks like they're doubling the patrols. They saw the body of the sky shark we encountered last night, and they're taking it more seriously, but that also means that if we were to do anything untoward, we'd have to be more careful.
are we trying to do anything untoward?
I was just sitting in my apothecary.
If anybody pays attention to Drac, hearing, oh, the guards have doubled, he just groans softly.
Hmm.
Lovely.
That's what I said.
Red.
What is interesting to you is that as you look over this a bit more, you realize that it's the script itself is, and you didn't think of it first because you can read both so well. It's a bit both in Common and Elvish.
Hmm,
Make me a quick intelligence check, please.
you got it. Mm, that's a 7.
Okay. You look at it for a moment as you is that it just really catches your eye, and it's like he's this. Why would he write like this?
Hmm. There's something off.
Doctor.
What happens if she just reads the Elvish?
If you just read the Elvish,
Mm-hmm.
you notice the first letter, and it takes you just a moment. You notice the first letter of each Elven word translates to coin.
Coin. And what about the common?
Help.
Uh-huh. Oh, this is concerning. There's a secret code in here. Help coin or coin help. The coin could be they'll pay us to help?
Or the coin could be in trouble.
Oh my dear. How could the coin be in trouble?
At
Well,
this
I
point,
mean,
the doctor probably looked up from his plate, fastened back his mask, and it piqued his interest more.
I mean, I'm not a finance savvy, but
Mm-hmm.
coins can go in and out of mint all the time.
Right. I think what this means is they need some help, and they'll give us coin to help them.
Why would they give us coin? What? Don't
Because
you
they're
just?
paying us. They're trying to give us a job without giving us a job, and therefore they're going to pay us for doing it.
Right. So,
Why wouldn't you just do it to be nice?
oh, the world works a bit differently, more towards the city, I think, than what you're used to here. Do you give people your plants?
Sometimes, yes, if they really need it. But I mean, I don't get a lot of visitors anyways, a lot of customers.
Okay. And did you have to pay for the plants you received yesterday?
Yeah,
Most of the time, towards the city, that's how things work. Unfortunately, not everybody is as nice as you.
I mean, I get most of my money from my mentor, as I don't get a lot of customers sometimes. Sometimes they don't pay, sometimes they do.
I have a feeling people like taking advantage of you, and I'm sorry for that. Some people can be ugly.
Hearing that word, Elysia kind of like winces at the word ugly a little bit and then looks down.
Meant on the inside, dear. People can be mean and rude. That is the true ugliness, not on the outside.
Yeah, that's what my books tell me.
And that is what I'm telling you.
But of course they always put a super hot dude and a super hot chick on the cover, so I'd never understand it.
You know, sometimes flesh sells. Let's just. Let's just hang that subject up for a moment. How should we go about trying to figure out who or what is behind the Sky Sharks?
Well, like I said, she said who. There is a good possibility that the family might have an idea of who would possibly want to hurt their son. I mean, if you think
Right.
about it, I mean, if I was to get hurt, there's kind of a long list for that. So, but I mean, wouldn't you know if somebody wanted to hurt you? for the most part.
For the most part, yes. Are we saying we want to go visit them again?
I don't. We were kind of losing her. Her mind's kind of. I don't want to push it.
Right. Okay.
We did leave it open, but I mean,
Perhaps it's best to ask the neighbors.
yeah, I agree with that.
Hmm.
Maybe if they see us out and about and very interested in this, they might come around. I also hope they don't think I tried to bribe them yesterday. I gave them 50 gold because I didn't know how much it was to fix a harvester.
Right.
So I hope they're. Do you think they think I'm bribing them?
If she's as out of it as you say, I don't think she probably realizes any of it yet
Okay,
anyway.
I just wanted to help out. I don't know how to fix a harvester. Otherwise, I would have done it.
Right. That's because you're nice.
I had to agree with that.
Um, so maybe I think. Okay, there's probably guards where you guys were attacked,
Mhm.
and I really don't feel like going up against that one guy again.
Oh,
Um, I think maybe if we, like you said, go to the neighbors and talk to them, it might be good. Uh,
we can start there and see if we can come up with any other ideas as well.
uh, if need be, I can, because I don't know how a lot of people. Yes, I helped with the Collins, but I don't know if everybody's. I mean, it's me, so I can disguise myself if I need to.
You should only
Well,
do that if you're being hunted.
right.
Well, I mean, I'm not really being hunted. Otherwise, I'd already be dead if that was the case. When you think, it's just people have preconceived notions about me because I don't know if you know, but there's some rumors going around.
We may have heard a thing or two, but we're still here, aren't we?
Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm here because I was asked to deliver the flowers, and that's what I did. I'm still here because I'm just interested in the reason why sky sharks would be coming out so deeply inland.
In any case, it benefits all of us to get to the bottom of it, don't you think?
Yeah, I
It,
just
if it's all right with you all, I would love to stay and help, but I'm gonna have to go back to the city, at least just for a day, real quick. I've already been gone a lot longer than I should have been. So,
Well, would you mind accompanying then? I have to go back into town today anyway.
if you'd like, sure. I can't be with you the whole time.
Obviously,
I have someone I have to meet.
and I have a job interview, so.
I do have a question for the doctor in red before you guys leave. What exactly could you guys tell me about the attack you had? Did either one of you pay attention to the shark's behavior or anything like that? Just
I mean, as far as I could tell, it was circling us like it was hunting.
okay.
It didn't attack us until after we lit up a stone with a cantrip.
Why would you have a light at night with whenever you know there's sky sharks
Otherwise, we
attacking?
wouldn't see our way.
Wait a
we
minute.
were we were about 40 minutes to an hour from home and couldn't quite see the path below our feet.
You guys can't see in the dark either?
No.
That's weird to me. She looks to Dragons is like, can you see in the dark? Because even I couldn't see in the dark earlier.
Drac just shakes his head no.
Well, you guys need to be a little bit more careful at night. If you guys are around, I can give you like 300 feet of dark vision for an hour, but
Well, maybe whoever's venturing out at night should stay with you then. Sometimes it just can't be avoided.
so other than typical shark behavior of circling and attacking as if hungry, there was nothing else.
DM, we wouldn't have noticed anything, right? Or would we? You want us to...
Each of you give me a nature check, please.
Got it.
All right. 23.
Damn.
Good
Oof.
night. I got an 11. So good thing you
Uh,
rolled high.
As far as you can tell, Doctor, from your current level of experience with this kind of a creature, it just seemed to act in accordance with what you would expect of a carnivorous cloud shark, sky shark, whatever variation of name you come to know it as.
It didn't seem to be
I
acting.
will say with
unusual.
that's so fucking high. I'll give you more.
Okay.
It just really, it's very concerning to you that it's this far inland.
Mhm.
This is the kind of a creature that is not known to brave the lands. It stays within its clouds, and it usually doesn't venture too far into an island.
Would its behavior after my fear spell be anything to note?
Beyond the fact that it took proper effect, you would just imagine that it was frightened of you, but it's not an intelligent creature. It's gonna eat.
I was just wondering, like, was it just that desperate to attack me at that point for food?
I'd say it didn't look like it was starving, or there weren't bones showing in its side. But being this far inland, you can either surmise that it ventured in for food, or something else
Drove it
there, coaxed it there, transported it and dropped it off. You're unsure of how it got from A to B. You just know that even with your limited experience on your home island, this was never an issue. Even if being from a much smaller island, they didn't brave it. They stayed within the cloud ocean, essentially.
Important question.
Sure.
Considering Dracix's backstory and everything else, and how large this island is, would he be able to surmise if the cloud sharks would, even if it was natural, reach this place within a day, or and actually have enough time to get off the island before it rose?
They're pretty quick. They certainly could cover that distance, but it would they could cover that distance, I'll put it that way.
Okay.
But it wouldn't be of a leisurely
so there would be a reason.
walk,
So there has to be something behind it. It isn't like it's just I'm going to go this way and be fine with it. Something has to have driven it through.
I do have a question, and
it does feel that way.
Simply because I'm not a local. What is the usual habitat for this creature within the island? If it's this far inland, how close is what would be considered its usual hunting grounds?
I would say Red, Elysia, and Eva, each of you would know that there isn't one. They do not establish any kind of a living space within the land. They stay to the Cloud Ocean. The only reason that you can begin to imagine would be because this island is one of the only ones that does descend into the clouds to assist in preserving and refreshing some of the arcane power required to keep it afloat.
As Red and the doctor are explaining this, Elysia kind of puts her finger to her forehead, and then her moth comes is walking across her hair and then onto her finger, and she's like listening intently while looking at the moth. So the light drew it in, but what if animals react to pheromones and other things like Noctua, as she pulls her puts her finger out with her moth. Noctua responds to flame, and they kind of get short-sighted. Is there the possibility where, um, what she said yesterday, there's also some animals out there that use other animal attacks to kind of cover what they're doing? Is there the possibility that something or someone is using something they like or find interesting, or, drawing them in and using them to maybe even possibly cover up their tracks?
That is possible.
It is a possibility. Um, hmm.
Because, like I said, animals are they eat, they sleep, that they're very much survival based. They don't, for the most part, have the complexity of us being, us, but, you know, at the end of the day, we're just animals too. And if we need to be drawn in, people do that. So maybe these sharks are being drawn in like a moth to the flame by something. I mean, obviously, what drew that sky shark was your light, but what if something bigger, is what drew it to the island?
That is possible.
It is. They could be covering whatever they had planned at the farm we were visiting yesterday.
I think to answer this question, we would probably need to go to where they would be coming from to get an answer to whether or not something is driving them away from where they would usually go to, or if
Um,
someone is forcing them to go inland or capturing and releasing.
with my knowledge on animals and everything, because I mean, yeah, I know, uh, I know a little bit about the sky sharks. What I kind of guess, other than, survival things, what, obviously, with a shark, what draws it in usually, our sharks, it's blood in the water, chum and stuff like that. Would I know anything that would possibly lure a sky shark?
I would say you've already surmised that yourself. The only thing, give me a quick nature check.
All right. That's a 20.
That definitely begins to form your school of thought. Is that again? It just strikes you as odd they're this far inland. They certainly, understanding the speed of the creature and things like that, stories you've heard, and Drakix, you probably chime in here and there with your experience being on the open cloud ocean so often. You know they're fast enough to make it this far and back before the island, fully comes back up and
Yeah.
their place of usual hunting, that kind of depth of cloud cover is gone.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it wouldn't be a leisurely stroll. It wouldn't be like, oh hey, I'm a sky shark and I'm going to have my random place to patrol is going to be this
Yeah.
inland. No, it is purposeful, and at this point with a check of a 20, it is intent. Either these creatures have an intent to purposely make it this far, or something is pressing that upon them.
So I wouldn't know of anything like, oh, this is the easy. You want to attract a sky shark? Well, just use this.
The same things that would get them.
Yeah.
Definitely the scent of fresh
Blood.
meat, blood,
Oh,
open
God, the
wounds.
butcher shops are gonna go crazy. No. Yeah, Elysia just thinks of this as she looks at Noctua. All right. Well, if it can't be helped, I understand if you guys have to travel overnight, but be safe. If you guys need to get a room for the night, rather that than hear about get another knock on my door about you guys, but I guess we'll go check out the town and you guys go to the city.
Right, we can go ahead.
You still got my key, Doctor, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, because I was gonna say if you lost it, I've got like 7 more, I think. Maybe.
One for each lock.
No, I just lose the key a lot, and it's better to be prepared.
That makes sense.
Because I lose half of the ones that I even make. Whenever I have 7, I started out with like 10, and I haven't even used those. But yes, I guess we will go into town again.
Okay, is everybody heading into the city proper?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they mean they're heading to the neighborhood around.
Talk to the neighbors.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm talking about
yeah.
the capital, the true city proper. Who's
I
heading
think that
there?
only
Eva,
me and the doctor.
Okay.
Eva and Doc are going into city proper.
All right, we will.
Is anyone coming with us, or are you going with Elysia?
Anyone going to capital city proper?
Elysia, no. It's already difficult enough. She's going to town a lot.
She'll go with Elysia. That's fine.
Okay.
Drac just looks between the two pairs, like, which way to go? He's just like, I can go either. He's gonna go with Elysia and Red.
Okay.
Good choice.
So we will do Eva and the doctor first. The two of you head out. What is going to be your method of travel? Are you going to walk it, or are you going to go to our doctor? Are you going to lead her back to the
I think
pickup point?
Yeah, because she's in a hurry to get back to town. I don't see why we don't take the trains.
Works for me.
Okay. You walk the roughly, now that it's daylight, it's more like a 45-minute walk to the simple building that rests below, probably, above it 40 feet, 50 feet in the air is this long stream of thin, what looks like almost glass that just spans through the sky. It's just a simple building, large enough for one individual to have a small office in there. And you walk up, town or further out, and it's just a simple, plain human male, shaggy brown hair, middle-aged-ish, kind of like a scruffy beard.
Mm-hmm. City proper, please. 5 silver each.
Okay. 5 silver each. 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 5 silver each
I'll hand over 5 silver.
Same.
Thank you. You watch as he kind of turns around and but it's easy enough to see. There's nothing of perception check required. You can see as he looks. There's this almost like stone panel on the wall next to him, and as he taps it, you watch as it just lights up with arcane characters, and he just begins to tap in a few things before you see one of them kind of flash green. All right. Well, do you want quick or comfort?
Quick, preferably.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and he puts 4 silver back on the counter. 2 each. There'll be room in one of the cattle stall carts as it comes by in about 10 minutes.
All right. Thank you
So
very
you
much.
each get back 2 silver.
Woot woot.
After about 5 minutes, you watch as the runes begin to light up, and this hovering just below this glass railway essentially is probably about 7 or 8 carts worth. The opening one, the very front being, again, has windows, doors, everything you expect of like where people ride, and then everything else is just enough window space for oxygen and just a big sliding door. And as it comes to a halt, it descends the 45-50 feet to the ground, and it just, with a very gentle sets on the ground. And you see as the individual in the office takes one of the little arcane runes on the port, the door slides open, and it's not packed with cattle, but it's pretty cramped. But there's space for 2 humans, 2 humanoid creatures.
All right. I would grab my bag and head on in.
Kind of look at the human. Is this going out or going in?
That's headed into the city proper. It will make a quick stop for you to get off, and then it's headed to the respective destinations.
Appreciate that. And she will join the doctor.
All right. So as soon as you both of you are in, about 30 seconds, 45 seconds goes by before the door just closes itself. You feel the lifting of everything as it begins to suspend itself into the air and rises to its proper height. And then you feel this slight shift as it begins to gradually pick up speed.
Once the doctor is stabilized, he would probably take out his journal and start taking notes and trying to sketch some of the runes he was seeing them mess with, see if he can study them at a later
Okay.
point.
Make a perception check.
Okay. That's a 14.
14, okay. After a relatively short travel, it stops probably about, I would say, this region. Let me grab my notes for the city proper real quick. Yes, okay. Not a lot of vision points here to see, but as it comes to a slow stop, descends, the door opens, and the 2 of you exit.
Mhm.
Yep.
You are greeted with, to you, Miss Eva, a familiar sight, not too far actually from where the warehouse and shipping area begins to almost immediately cut off into a living area for the lower end of those who live within the capital proper. And even by that standard, most of the buildings are still made from, I would say, probably 50-60% stone, the rest lumber, with just, it's not over the top, but it's decent stable living. And again, it's comparatively, this is fantastic, but when you put it in retrospect that you are in the capital proper, this is definitely the lower end of town. Streets are still paved. There's still business, there's still shops being open, there's still your individuals who are trying to make their wages from the workers who are leaving and coming from this area. Quick stalls, usually pulled by a hand cart or something like that, kind of shouting, baked fresh goods, fresh in the morning, cinnamon and spice, baked fresh goods, things like that. You've got the town criers giving their news for the day.
Anything interesting in the news?
They go by, and you hear them kind of, just dong dong, news from Zephyrus and news from, oh gosh, which one was it that was closest time of year? Even my own calendar got it memorized. There it is, yes. And Volantos. News from Zephyrus and Volantos, dong dong. As they approach for their year-round trip, make sure you're ready. Dong Dong Festival begins in a week 2. And you would know, for you, Eva, a week 2 is a interesting term, mostly centralized to this island. It is one batch of a 2-week period. So a week 2 is literally just a fortnight, but it's just kind of the slang used here in the capital.
Mm-hmm.
That would be probably the most interesting thing. Everything else is just kind of general news of the day, a couple of important kind of shipments being stated out. You get that sense that here in this area, most of the news is pertaining to those that probably work in various sections of the other city. So there's talk about what to expect for the day. There's talk about important shipments have finally come in. Some have been delayed. You actually hear one of the individuals kind of at one of the side stalls with this simple mug, kind of talking to the vendor there. And you can see as some of the news hits his ears, he goes, "Oh, well, that's what I'm waiting on." Kind of downs the drink real quick, sets it down. You see him put some coin down. He just kind of takes off in a hurry. Like, it's very much, especially here, I would say, Eva, you would have a keen insight to this. A lot of things in the city, especially being as centralized it is, as being like the cornerstone of weave tech and the cutting edge of the next arcane breakthrough in that weave tech, a lot of things run on a very tight schedule. So if something's late or behind, getting news like that, it's like extremely important to that individual. You can see they take off like it is the greatest thing they've ever heard.
Am I familiar with this part of the city, like, well, or?
Well enough to get yourself where you need to get to. I wouldn't say you know exactly every alley in and out, things like that, but you understand, especially with given your profession, what would be the best places to set up to perform, what would be the best places to tailor a song or a tale to this or that, and what's some places to not be around, because either those individuals probably work later in the day, so they're trying to sleep, or those individuals are already gone for the day because they're off to work.
Would I know where I need to go from here?
I was actually going to ask, can Eva know? She would like ask the doctor, do you know where you're going?
Do I know the district at least? I know
This
the
is
building.
the same one you exited from.
Okay, so I do know where to go to.
You have a good idea.
Okay. I have a good idea. I was here yesterday, and I'm pretty sure I can make my way there.
Good. Very sorry. Have to go. Good luck, I guess?
And you too.
Thanks. Hope I'll catch up with you at some point.
If you want, I can wait here at the station for you.
I honestly, I don't know when I'll be coming back out of the city, so probably best not to wait.
All right. Well, I also don't know how long today's business will take me, so.
Again, good luck. Don't get mugged, don't get stabbed. See you around. And
Sure.
Eva is gonna just briskly start walking away.
Okay. Where do you head?
To my neighbors, where I assume I left my important person.
Yes. Any business you wish to take care of, you may send me a message for.
Mm-hmm.
And then the doctor.
To Via's family home.
Okay. You head to kind of navigating the streets a bit, doing your best to remember where to go and how to get there. You do eventually, after some time, find yourself amongst the familiar, very plainly built, plainly presented building with the kind of sign over the archway, the door, the Vias family home. Or
All right.
home for families.
I will make sure I am not too dirtied and needed presentation myself a little bit, and then I will attempt to make my way in.
Okay. The door's not locked. You head inside.
All right.
Behind the counter is the familiar female you saw yesterday.
Okay. I will start approaching the counter, and I will say, "Good morning, Miss Aurora."
Good morning. You can see she's trying to think if you gave a name or not, and she just doesn't remember.
The doctor.
Yes. Strange one. I mean, doctor. Right then. Well, what can I do for you this morning?
Oh, you told me yesterday I should come by today to speak with your boss about a position working here.
I did. Wait here, please.
I will do.
And she gets up and leaves through a singular door that is centered behind her desk.
Can I just take a look around? I don't know if I took the time to do so beforehand when I was here yesterday. I was more focused on the conversation.
Okay. You look around, make a perception check.
Okay. 13.
13, just looking around, very plain, very boring in here. There are a couple of chairs. There is on also extremely symmetrical.
I would very much
On
appreciate that,
Each
actually.
side, on each side of the room, there is about 4 chairs, 2 and 2, separated by a small table with some very simple plants on them, and a couple that look like sheets of parchment. Beyond that, there's just her desk, which currently has nothing on it.
I would just simply wait patiently then, and
Okay.
that would be it.
About 10-15 minutes goes by before she comes back out, and she's accompanied by what looks to be a rather well-dressed human male. I'd say probably about 50-60 years old. Average weight, probably in height wise, in comparison to yourself, probably matching similar to where you're at. It has this black hair, which just seems to be slicked back a bit. It's a bit shiny from whatever oils or things are in it. Wearing, again, I wouldn't say over the top clothing, but definitely clothing tailored to their body style. It just fits well on them. So it doesn't look like it's, fancy, rich. It doesn't have like inlaid silver and gold, things like that. It's just well tailored.
Okay. Definitely someone who knows he's above his station of where he is.
Yes. And they walk out and they kind of approach you a bit. Good morning.
Good
Miss
morning.
Aurora here tells me you're looking for work and that your loyalties lie with coin, not country.
Well, as a foreigner, I would imagine so.
Very well. My name is Dar.
Good to meet you, Mr. Dart. I am the doctor. And I will reach my hand out for him to shake it.
And he shakes your hand. You notice his grip is a bit firm, almost as if he's trying to test you.
I don't resist.
Okay. And he just pulls his hand away.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your areas of specialty, Doctor?
I am quite good at the medical field. I am experienced in treating the living, but I do prefer working on the dead personally.
Where do your talents lie with the dead and unfortunately departed?
Autopsy, discovering how they died, or preparing them for a funeral, cremation, or simply cleaning.
You notice that he kind of chuckles when you say figuring out how they died.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't think you'll be dabbling too much in cause of death here. Mainly disposal. And
If the bodies is to be disposed, may I ask a question of one of my own methods? I like to examine some corpses here and then just to see if I can discover anything new about how a body would work. I'm not too familiar with each race. Just my own curiosities. Would that be okay with you? The bodies would still be disposed of as you wished.
Aurora, and she kind of nods, and you see her as she circles a wide berth around you very slowly, and she heads to the front door and locks it.
All right.
The methods in which you would be handling those deceased are of no consequence to me, as long as they aren't found, or if they are found, they're not able to be identified through normal or divine methods.
It's quite simple. I'm familiar with those methods myself, in fact. So finding a way of countering them should be quite simple for me.
Very well. And he goes to the desk now behind it, leaving your proximity for the first time during this conversation. And again, he's making a side check for me as he does this. He moves around and he goes to the desk, and you see him as he kind of opens one of the drawers.
That would be a 21 for insight.
21. He's not intimidating to you, but something about him is definitely beginning to put like a vice on your heart. Something is just off-putting about this individual.
I would note this and be sure to watch my back while working for him.
Okay. He will grab your hand and kind of turn it palm side up, and he places in it a simple, about probably palm-sized blue stone.
Okay. Do I recognize it?
It is, I would say, make a quick Arcana check just to see.
Finally, I get to make one of these.
Yeah.
21.
21. Looking it over, you've read about these things.
Subtract 4 from that. It rolls a D4 for me because of an innate ability if I use a tool to check it, which I'm not currently.
Oh, okay.
So it would be a 17.
17. You've read about this kind of thing. You've never had one personally, but as you look it over, you kind of realize there's this very similar shape. It looks like lips carved into it, and you recognize this as a sending stone.
Okay. I imagine that you only use this in emergencies, and you would be the only one to contact me through it, correct?
This will be used for us to contact you when we have something that needs to be taken care of. You'll have a window to reply before the job moves to somebody else.
Fair enough. I imagine you had nothing for me today.
No. But when we do, keep it close.
Will do. And he sticks it into his component pouch.
Okay. And he just kind of gives a nod over to Aurora, who has not left the door at this point, and you just hear the unlocking of the door. She opens it.
I will pick my bag up and I will walk out.
Okay.
What time of day is it currently when I walk out?
I would say it's not too terribly late. It's probably late morning at this point because the trip is not that long. Your conversation was intense but short.
Then just so we can go ahead and move on for me, I would say the doctor would probably go back to the train station, grab some lunch, and probably wait there for about 4 hours before he decides to go ahead and take the train.
Okay. You head back, and that's when we'll take a break. When we come back, we will see what shenanigans the other part of the table has been up to. I can only imagine. But we are going to take a fast break. Hopefully you do the same. Go get you some water, some snacks. I know I'm going to get some snacks because I'm starving. I don't know about the rest of my table, but if you're going to get snacks, go ahead too. But we'll be back in about, what do you guys want? About 15 minutes? Sound good for you?
Works for me.
Good with me.
All right.
Yeah, works for me.
We will be back in about 15 minutes. Y'all have a good one and see you soon. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Thank you for hanging out during our break. I'm going to do a quick mention here. This way, Kelly doesn't strangle me because I forgot this morning. This morning, I forgot in the morning, which was if you consider this stream as my day. I did forget in the morning. Haha! I didn't misspeak. You just didn't understand what I was talking about.
Oh my god. I
I
might strangle you anyways, just for that.
I-
Go
I
ahead.
agree, but I agree.
On our lovely screen here that has been put together, you can see this nice little green bar that says Road to 200. What that is when we reach that, we will be doing a raffle to where 2 individuals will win some lovely prizes. Those, for the first place, you'll get a set of dice. You will get a hilarious, I don't have it in front of me, I think it's still packed away because I recently moved, a dice jail, which is in the, no, that's not the jail, that's the container. It's a D20 with this really cool opening. I'll find it before next stream. It has this magnetic closing part you can keep your dice in, and then there's the dunce chair, which is the cutest thing I've ever seen. I wish I had it out right now, but I don't see it on my desk, which means it's in a box, and there's not a lot of boxes left, so I'll definitely find it by next week.
Means
but
we
it's
gotta get him a dunce cap.
Yes, but it's literally this little tiny chair that perfectly fits a D20, and you put the little dunce cap on top of it for when it rolls too many natural ones. It's the best thing. To go along with that, we're going to give you a set of fantastic metal dice. And then also for second place, you will receive a set of metal dice. Wow.
Nice.
All the dice.
All the dice. With that stated, and our business concluded for those that ventured into the city proper. Miss Eva, you and I have been communicating via messages, so your business is handled, I believe.
Yes, sir.
The doctor, you wait for, you said how many hours? 3, 4? Before you
4.
Four hours, and if she does not come about the end of the 4 hours, I will take the train and go.
Okay. I will say just a quick note before we do switch over. You notice that when it comes to its rest and lowers, not only do you take a front coach area, there's room for you here. Go ahead and reduce 5 silver. You do notice that for this round, there's actually some boxes being loaded into the back carts.
Anything striking about these, like
What's in the box?
stamps of like who owns them or what they might
One of
be?
them is, let's see here. The one that catches your eye the most, the rest are usually, they're just pretty much closed, no stamping. One is open because it's only like a half box with looks like a wagon wheel secured into it. Like the wheel was too big to fit in a box, so you can see where they just chopped the box and strapped it inside of it.
All right.
But we're gonna go back in time a few hours and head to the other portion of the table. So as as Eva and the doctor head out, Red, Drakex, Elysia, what do you do?
Do we want to go talk to the guards first about the notes, or do
No. We're not supposed to.
Oh,
That's the whole
oh,
point.
that's right. We didn't
Right.
see them as Elysia tries to
Exactly.
wink, but it's a very obvious like.
It's the
wink.
long, awkward wink, like yeah.
I think that it was decided we should go and talk to the neighbors first.
Yeah,
Yes, we talk to the neighbors and try to
Okay.
listen in on things going on to see where we may have an answer.
Right.
okay.
So we'll say for the neighbors in this area directly around the apothecary is again very small. Most individuals that live here are probably some form of ranch hand of the main surrounding families. And I will say,
Well-
Elysia, you could fill them in on this information,
Mm-hmm.
is that the three main ranch families of the Sirwich Fields is the Moss Scales,
Mm-hmm.
the Collins, and then the most predominant with the most land and longest running prestige as a ranch hand family is the Ilroom family.
Okay. I'm probably. We could go talk to the Collins. I need to check on the father. It's been a couple days, and want to make sure that he's not, he's doing okay. If that's okay with you guys.
Of course. Let's
Mhm.
go.
Okay. As we make our way to the Collins ranch.
Okay. There we go. I had to rotate some images I took with a whiteboard before I erased everything. It's really neat. Anyways, I'm not gonna get to that. You make your ways to the Collins ranchlands. In comparison, they would be kind of like second largest to the Ilroom family, and then obviously the Moss Scales being only a couple of generations of ranch hands. They have the least amount of land. Still a good section of the land. Like the entirety of the Sirwich Fields is predominantly owned by these three large families. There's a few here and there, but they're not worth mentioning to you, and you really wouldn't know them that well. The three main names is those I gave earlier: the Ilroom family, the Moss Scales, and the Collins.
Yeah, those three Elysia would kill for their land to have a huge ass garden. Yes, we.
Yeah, essentially.
Mhm.
And you head to the Collins Ranch head. So you get there. The building is simple. It's large enough to house the family of probably about 5 or 6 individuals. It's decent building. This one is only one story, so that's why it's a bit larger looking, because they didn't build up, they built out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as we are going there, Elysia is explaining that Mr. Collins was attacked. Me and the doctor, Elysia and the doctor, kind of everything that was going on and everything. So he was affected by a sky shark and everything. So they are probably the most open at the time to be able to talk to her about all that stuff.
Good. As you're making your way up, all of you see close to the front door. Close to the front is this very well made carriage pulled by two beautiful large horses.
Elysia's eyes get really big.
Elysia, you looking at the banners waving from this, you immediately recognize this as the Ilrum family crest. It's this simple on the banner itself is made of a black material with a single white eye on it, and wrapped around that is like rope, kind of signifying ranch hands, the Ilrum family, things like that.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
They're here. They got pretty horses.
Hey.
As Elysia starts kind of like telling them, like,
How close to
"Oh,
all of
yeah."
you get? Do you
Pretty close.
wait a distance away, or are you still going to like make way for the front door?
Listen, Elysia doesn't understand social custom. She's still walking.
Okay.
So yeah, I'd say get pretty close.
I need everyone of that little party to make a perception check, please.
You.
Okay.
That's an 11.
That's 17.
19.
Okay. Elysia, you just hear shouting. You cannot really make it out too much. Drakix, you hear a couple of words here and there, mostly something along the lines of embarrassment. How dare you? Not dead. You kind of make that out amongst the yelling. Red, what you make out is a pretty good heated ending to a conversation as the door swings open, and you hear before that you can hear something along the lines of, how dare you, I'm not dead yet, get the hell off my property.
Ooh.
And the door is just flung open. As you can see now, this older female human with blonde hair pulled back to a tight ponytail, this simple like a working dress, essentially. It's not made of the best material. It's made more of a thick, like almost potato sack style thickness, not as much as blandness, but purposely like she works, whoever this is, along with a thicker apron. And you can definitely tell she's the one that just smacked the door open, and you can see her just pointing towards the carriage in silence. And you see as this extremely well-dressed male human comes out, say within your perception rolls, continuing, Elysia, you're just a little too worried about the yelling and the slamming of the door to really take too much notice. Drakix and Red, you see this. The best term I can describe to you is this farm fit individual. He has, even through his clothing, you can tell he has rather dense arms, upper chest, kind of a thicker neck, but just an absolute like beer gut or ale gut, I guess in this realm would be the best term for it. Thick legs to obviously support his line of work, and he has this like slicked over hair, not quite a comb over, but is thinning a bit. Rather well dressed, and you can just see as the father comes out as well. As this other individual is leaving, you can see the father is taking this piece of paper and just shredding it with his one good hand, like chicken winging it under one and just shredding it. And then before the individual just nods their head a bit and does speak a bit. Both of you are kind of close, but Red, you just kind of hear the words, well, just consider the offer. You know, you are getting older in your years, and if these attacks continue, I'd hate to see what happens to the moss scales. It'd be unfortunate repeatedness. And he just gets back in his carriage. You can see there's a driver. Now that you're closer, you can see there's actually a driver there, and they take off.
Elysia seeing that, he's tearing up this piece of paper, she walks a little bit more briskly, like, I don't know if that's good right now, and everything. And she's like, Mr. Collins, I came to check up on you, and uh,
You can see his face is still a bit red from the yelling. His eyes are a bit bloodshot, and he still seems visibly angry. As you approach it, you can
yeah,
definitely tell with your passive insights around. All of you have a high
Yeah.
enough one, and you can just put the intelligence together. He's not angry at the party, but it's just
yeah,
lingering
yeah.
anger. And his head snaps to you, and then his eyes kind of widen a bit, and he kind of like semi gut checks himself as the wife, who is still stern but soft, kind of goes, and she can see her. She puts her hand on her husband's shoulder. And now, Elysia, you recognize this as. Where did I put her name? Where are my notes? Should have had them faster. You can tell this is Emily. Emily Collins. And she kind of puts her hand on her husband's shoulder. Dear, calm down. And he kind of nods his head, and he just motions with his head indoors, and he heads inside.
I guess we follow him.
Red will absolutely follow.
At this point, Emily kind of looks and does her best to push through whatever situation we're just in with a smile. Please come in. It's been a morning, but we understand why you're here. Please, come.
Sorry for coming at a bad time. I just wanted to check on Mr. Collins and make sure he was okay, and if the tea's been helping a little bit.
Oh, he's stubborn as an ox. You know that. He's fine.
Yeah. Well, okay. As Elysia goes in, she's never been invited into somebody's house, so she kind of like curtsies at her real quick and then like walks in.
She gives you a curious look before you head in. As all of you head in, you realize it's just a comfy place. It's, even with the briskness of this kind of year, it's still warm on the inside. There's the smell of kind of a fresh breakfast, probably freshly eaten. There's still a couple of plates on the table. The smell of coffee and tea is strong in the air still. You can see the other two sons are there, both of them. One still slinged up, the other one wrapped up, but not in a sling anymore. They all just kind of look to the three of you as you enter. The two sons give considering how they feel and how they've treated you in the past, they still are a bit standoffish with you.
Elysia like waves at him because she's also like, I don't know.
They both just kind of give a nod before taking whatever plates they have and walking into a sink area, setting them down.
Yeah, very much a smiling wave, boys. Smiling wave.
There's a quick conversation between everyone. The oldest, let's see here, it'd be Nathan. He kind of looks to his father. Already sent up for the wheel, father. Hopefully it gets here soon. He kind of nods his head. All right, thank you. Get done what you can. Get the other harvester working. Maybe you can transfer the water from one to the other until we get that wheel in. And then both the sons just kind of nod. You can see now they're twin sons, but one is a bit stockier than the other. Maybe he got some more of the dad genes. And they both
He's wearing dad jeans? No.
Yeah. It's actually his dad's jeans are hand me down. So
Yep.
Yes.
But they the two sons head out, leaving just the three of you and Emily and Lester.
Hello.
Morning.
These
Apologize for my mood.
No. I mean, this is your house. I apologize. We came at a bad time. These two have been staying at my place. This is Drakex and Red and everything, and they came with me. I wanted to check up on you, make sure that arm's doing okay, if you're having any discomfort, any pain, anything
Shakes his
like that.
head. No, after whatever it is you did yesterday, I've never seen anything like it, and I've lived a pretty good life.
Well, that makes me happy to hear. I was able to get to you and help. The doctor and I were able to get to you and help you. Um, Sadly, we weren't able to get to the other incident in time.
Yeah, you can see
But
both Emily and Lester, their faces kind of solemn a bit. Emily speaks up first. Yes, we heard about the moss scales.
yeah, um, but yeah, I wanted to check up on you, and I actually I went over there the other day. I brought uh a pie and some fruit to, you know, try and help out with another individual that's been staying with me and everything. And it's just it's crazy considering I know that these sky shark attacks have been happening all over and everything, but first you and then Sith, and I I don't know, it's just got us thinking and wondering, I guess like everybody else, what's going on. Um,
You can see Lester kind of sits back in his chair and kind of rubs his beard a bit. Wish I knew. I've never seen anything like this before, and I've
yeah.
farmed since I could walk. Never heard of something like this. And then to get attacked. One of our harvesters hit some kind of a, I don't know what happened. One of the wheels broke.
Yeah.
Apparently got run into the ground or hit a pocket or something. I don't know.
So the harvester was broken during the shark attack,
No,
or
no, this happened last night. Ert
Hmm.
was taking his around and said he didn't even see what he hit. The horse walked fine, but I guess the must have just ran right into whatever it was, some kind of a pocket in the ground, or
yeah.
he said it was just a hole there. So we'll look at it later, trying to figure out why there's holes in my land now.
So has
This is
anybody besides you and the Mostodes had any similar issues?
not that I know of.
Interesting. Both with shark attacks, both with equipment that's malfunctioned or broken, seemingly out of nowhere. And then the visit by your illustrious,
Yeah.
I would say friends, but
Yeah, I understand it.
George has always had a gall on him. Thinks he owns the whole Sirwich Fields, and he starts going on like you can tell like an old man rant is coming. Like you can just feel it, like the old farmer rant about this is my ways, and I can't believe this is happening. The city folks are coming in, but he's just like George has always had a crazy hair up his backside about taking over more land, always making offers on my land. And I don't know.
Do you get the feeling that maybe he's at a breaking point?
I don't know. I just know I'm tired of dealing with him. Wish he would just understand the message that I'm not going to sell.
Whenever
Right.
I was over at the Moskills, I talked to, what was Mrs. Moskill's name?
She didn't give it, but you do know it, seeing as you
yeah.
do live near it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I
Rusa.
figured Ruza. Ruza, obviously a bit in and out. She made the comments about finding out what is doing this or who. Um, do you believe in coincidence, Mr. Collins, because I don't. There's shark attacks. Two very illustrious families who essentially are the head of this town get attacked. One survives, one individual dies, then their harvester is destroyed during the attack, and then yours last night. I'm not trying to make any crazy conspiracies. It's just, I just,
Coincidence.
yeah.
It's worth looking into.
It definitely is.
And then to have a visit whenever you are, after you're attacked and your harvester's broken, seems like
George's
one
always
hell of
been
timing.
he's always been a bit of a rat. He knows when to come about. There was an incident about 5-10 years ago, and Elisa, you remember this one? Something came
Mhm.
across all of the Surwich fields. A lot of animals were lost. It was actually a pretty harsh time,
Mm-hmm.
but it was a while ago. It was about 5 to 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Even then, when he lost his own bit, he tried to claim he could make an offer on the land.
Yeah.
He just wants to run it all.
I mean, I may not know a lot about people, but isn't that kind of human nature?
I mean, ambition to an extent, yes, but not at this level. Um, do you happen to know if maybe there's a new person showing up around the... What did you say that last name was again?
The ill rooms?
Right. Maybe a new suspicious person around them seems to be hanging out a lot more. I don't know how much attention you pay to that sort of thing, but
Little as possible.
right, of course. I think it's best I don't voice my suspicions just yet, but we should definitely pay them a visit.
How are you all getting along? I know one of your son's arms is wrapped up. It seems to be doing a little bit better. The other one's still in a sling, and I know even if you feel better, taking time off, how is the ranch doing other
We'll be
than
all
the
right.
harvester?
That will be
Okay.
all right. New wheel will be in probably by evening. Get it hitched on. Didn't even lose a night.
That's good. That's
Well,
good to hear.
guess we lost part of the night technically.
Yeah.
True.
Okay, that's good. Just a bit worried, easier to swoop in then. Um, can I be as so bold? Have you been drinking the tea?
At this point, you can see Emily kind of speaks up. He has been.
Okay. Mr. Collins, uh, I'm not used to doing this, but I can understand emotions are high right now. But you're the head of your household, and I understand whenever somebody comes for that household, it can hit very hard, and it can make you blind with anger and just make you see red. But you
I'm
do
right
need
here.
you do need to calm down whenever that happens, because stress is not good for you. And right now, your family needs you. This town needs you. I was able to, me and the doctor were able to save you now. And I'm sorry if this offends you, but people say things like that just to upset you. They want to get under your skin. They want to make you mess up. They want to make you stress out. I know you work hard and you should continue to do that, but it wouldn't hurt to also enjoy the things that you do have right now, because you could have very easily lost it that day.
A persuasion check.
God, -1.
Oh
Fuck.
no!
Yeah, that's a 5.
Okay.
Oh
You
my
can
god!
see he's hearing you,
Yeah.
but you're not sure if he's listening to you.
Yeah. Hopefully Emily is. um,
I can say that
Right.
we're looking into these things a little more.
yeah, yes, we are. So, um, try not to worry too much about that. And if you do hear any more, or because people talk, Elysia says, kind of like just like, yeah. If you hear anything, just you know where to find me. They're staying with me, and we're just trying to look into this and trying to figure out what all's going on to try to protect everybody as much as we can.
Thank you. I think the best thing that can be happen is figure out why the hell these things are so far here.
Yes, I agree.
Damn
That's
guard would do their job. Supposed to
You
patrol our
know-
borders.
I happen to very much agree.
I'm actually kind of worried with as many guards as are out there. There's more potential victims.
But
And
there's also more potential eyes to see what's going on.
yes, I agree. But these eyes know nothing about animals, or they're not really looking into that. Um,
At this point, Drac just kind of like listening in on everything else. Just, just to alleviate a little bit of curiosity on my sake. These attacks are only recent, correct? There's not been any sign of cloud shocks prior to what's happened now, correct? Right?
No, it all started about, I don't know, 3-4 days ago.
And nothing else out of the ordinary has happened like 5, 6, maybe a week.
No, the only other strange thing is the supposed hole that just our frickin' harvester ran over and lost a wheel on.
Can you show me where that hole is?
I was about to ask the very same thing. Good idea.
And you can see he kind of leans over to look past all of you, and he just yells as this deep, bellowing voice you just hear, Nathan! I mean, it's just loud. Like,
all right, so I gotta
it's
make
crazy.
a pie with a tranquilizer in it for him. Okay, got it.
No, he's just a good southern daddy. It's
And
fine.
then he immediately, like, not even 10, 20 seconds later, you just hear the door. Get that. Take these three down to where you decided to try and have some fun with our harvester. And the son kind of winces at that, knowing he was the one that was driving it. And now it's broke.
He's
Mhm.
playing chicken. I bet you anything.
Yes, yes, father. And Nathan kind of stands at the door expectantly.
Oh,
Hey.
Red will go over. Yeah.
And Drac is gonna head out.
Yeah. Elysia stands up. Let me know if you need anything else. If you need any more tea after that's done, or anything. As Elysia kind of like walks away.
Right. You three head outside. Nathan leads you, I'd say probably about a good this walk here. about a good 3 to 4 miles away from the homestead. And you can see now there is I wouldn't say abandoned, but there's no horses attached to it. And it's just lumped over. You can see one of the wheels is down, like the fully into the dirt. Like the harvester itself is essentially grounded on one corner.
Hmm.
Okay.
And he just kind of, well, he asked for weird shit. He points, and there's probably about probably about 5 feet across, just hole.
Hmm.
Can she see if there's anything magic-y about it?
How do you wish to do that?
Arcana check?
Roll an Arcana check.
Can Elysia cast detect magic?
If you want to, sure.
Oh, hey. Look at that.
Drac is going to walk towards.
Oh,
a-
no.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Nope,
That's a
no
six.
magic here.
Nope, none. Oh, somebody must have dug that hole when nobody was looking.
Yeah.
So Drac is going to take his.
I didn't get a ping off the detect magic.
You did not.
Mm.
Excuse me, you do.
Oh.
The harvester is magical.
Yeah, I figured the harvester. As soon as you said that, I was like, this motherfucker's gonna tell me the harvester, and yeah.
Damn it.
Alright,
Okay.
so Drac is going to walk towards
Okay.
the hole,
Okay.
but also he's going to be using his javelin kind of to test the ground underneath him.
Okay.
Hmm.
So he's going to kind of like stab the ground a little bit, make sure it's solid.
There is solid ground except for this rather well-made circular, just dug hole in the ground. Probably again about 4 to 5 feet across.
Can she inspect it?
Sure, roll investigation check.
He's actually going to look over and see how deep it is.
It goes down. Looking down, it goes down about 10 feet.
Okay.
Oh, hey, that's a dirty 20.
Looking at this, expecting the area around, you can see it looks like there's some kind of a thick twine cloth that has been woven together and then shoved into it, almost like a grass blanket is just a bunch of grass, various weeds, plant matter, things like that. You can see it's kind of like it's pinned to the wall by the half of the cartwheel. It's not broken. It's just wedged in there.
So someone was making it look like that was regular grass when it wasn't.
Yes, that's what you are able to definitely pull with a 20 total.
Mm.
Also, looking at it, you can tell this is a tooled effort. It was done by shovels, pickaxes, something of that manner. It does descend about almost straight down at a little bit of an angle to about 10, 15 feet down.
Okay.
She's definitely going to point that out. And
How close do you get? Do you get
To the
really
hole?
up in it? Yeah.
yeah.
You also, this horrible smell hits you, wafting up from the hole.
Do I recognize the smell?
You do. It is the smell of rotting meat.
Rotting meat. Drakix.
He's currently tying a rope to the
To the harvester?
to the harvester.
Okay. It's
Hey.
definitely
And
heavy
he
enough.
tosses the other end into the hole, and she could see him grabbing the rope, and it's just about ready to just like drop in.
I wouldn't drop in that if I were you. It looks like it was dug tried to cover it over, make it look like regular grass. It's definitely someone trying to break their equipment. And it smells awful. What is that, rancid meat?
As soon as she says it smells awful, Elysia kind of like is close to the hole and is just like taking a big ass whiff of it.
It is awful.
Okay, yeah, I see what you
Ugh.
mean. As she like kind of gets it, tries to get into the hole and everything to like kind of see if she could dig to find like she sniffs around looking for the smell so she could like dig around there.
Oh.
He just like kind of looks down for a second, and as he's about to jump in, he goes like, "Wait, dark hole. Do either
Dark
one of you have a light?"
Oh, I can provide. And
Please.
she will find some kind of like a pebble or a rock on the ground and cast light on it and hand it to him.
Okay.
So he holds it in his hand, has the rope in the other, and goes, "I'll be right back."
Whee!
You
careful.
descend
Mhm.
down. Now the entirety of this is only about 5 feet wide.
Yeah.
You go down 15 feet straight and you climb down. It's a little bit of an angle, so you have some footing to get yourself down there. But once you get down, you just have that 40 feet of vision. It looks like just a tunnel that just heads in a direction.
Like, so as he's down there, and if Red is actually looking down at him,
Mm-hmm.
Red will all of a sudden hear
Mhm.
in her head
Oh.
his voice. And all he says is, "Huh, there is two tunnels. One to the left, one to the right. So
Interesting.
I can only do this within a certain distance, so give me a moment. I will take a quick look. I won't be long. I won't be going that far.
Um, Did-
And
could you crap, you already left. I could keep an eye out if you just take some of my hair.
I already
He's
have.
speaking in Red's head.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
But
yep, that's right. Sorry.
Yep.
He still actually has from yesterday.
No, that hair's gone, and where Elysia cut, it's grown back.
Okay.
Yep.
Hexblood.
Yeah, so he's going to take a look between the two. And since he is down here now,
Mhm.
he's going to take a look at the walls
Mm-hmm.
and kind of see and look for the any kind of like tool marks to kind of say like which direction they started from.
Ooh, that would be definitely an investigation check.
That's an 8.
Oh, no.
You notice only what was pointed out to you by Red is that there are shovel and tool marks, and it was definitely this was not made through arcane methods. This was made through something of physical nature.
Well, all Red hears is, well, can't really tell which way they started, so eeny, meeny, miny, left.
Mhm.
And he goes,
Well, it's only there's only
Jesus
it only goes one
Christ.
way.
oh no, you said it continues. That's what you said.
Yeah, it continues. There's only it's from what you can tell is there's only 2 potential exit points. There's the one you came through and wherever the tunnel leads.
Oh, I thought that it was like the
No,
roof of the
my
tunnel.
mistake. No,
Nope.
it
Got
leads
it.
in a singular direction.
Got it. Okay, so this is just exit point. Okay.
Yep.
So
Are you-
he's gonna.
Are you sure we shouldn't all go down?
He doesn't hear like your
Oh,
verbal.
shit.
His is mental.
Red,
Uh,
this
he
does not
just
make
like,
any sense.
if you want to come down, go ahead.
This doesn't make any sense. Somebody would notice this hole.
They had a piece of grass over the top.
No, I mean once the harvester. Anybody who came to look to see what happened and stuff like that would very easily be able to move this and find this. They didn't really cover their tracks very well.
I'm not sure what to say. It just requires further investigation, I suppose. To that end.
As Elysia was just like, I'm gonna go down there, and she goes down the rope just like wee and stuff like that.
All right. Lizzie has down. Red,
Yep, she's going.
head down. You
Mhm.
have 5 feet of space to stand.
Whenever she gets close to both of them, she's gonna give them eyes of night so they can get rid of the pebble,
Okay.
just in case. There you go. Scott.
Red and Drakex, for the first time in your knowing lives, you see beyond the 40 feet of light granted to you by the little pebble. Beyond that, beyond that is a interesting monotone grayscale of vision leading out to about 300 feet before darkness once again takes over.
It only lasts an hour, so.
So
you
we
know.
should be quick. Got it.
Yeah, I just figured, the light might attract something. Maybe
True enough.
if it's down here. I mean, making noise will attract, but yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy that. She's-
Oh, thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And
Did you say we have like 5 feet to stand next to
Yes.
each other?
5 feet up and down. The entirety
5
of this
feet.
tunnel is about 5 feet around.
so yeah,
Oh.
Drac is just like hunched over.
So is Elysia.
Hold on.
She's
hold on.
6'1".
Do
Like-
I have my height on here? Oh, I do. She's 5'8". She's fine.
Yeah,
Not
no,
really.
no.
She's crunched down
You're
a little
still-
bit. He said
you're
5
still
feet,
kind
so
of-
8.
Elysia's horns are getting stuck.
Drac in the front actually looks like a gator.
Oh.
We got
Oh, Red
gators
wants
in the
to ride
sewers.
the gator.
We got
Red
the
wants to
gators in the
ride
sewers.
gator.
All right. I am going to ask a question of this section of the party. How far are you willing to travel?
Until half of the dark vision time is gone.
You travel for 30 minutes. There is no seeming end to this tunnel.
Lovely. Any branches off? Any other little pieces worth investigating?
No.
Cool.
So, due to Drax's history, he would kind of know like which direction we've been traveling in, roughly.
Make an intelligence check for me.
I'm not good at those. That's a 5.
You're a little turned around down here. You're having to. You're down. You're hunched over. You're having to almost like, not crawl, but you're hunchbacked over. You have this weird new night vision. You can't really. Your brain's trying to get it all together.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps we should come back down here with everybody else.
Yeah, it can't be today because I used up my eyes of night, but I can get all of us and everything, and maybe I can stay behind as she's like pulling her horns from the dirt and everything, and just like
Drac kind of like looks
Ah.
to the
I will
other
say
two.
also. I'm sorry, I forgot this note. My apologies. As you've been walking through this time, there is a you pass by, I'd say in the 30 minutes of travel, you pass by 2 just halfway devoured piles of meat.
Ugh, that's disgusting.
Would Drax recognize what type of meat by chance?
No, it is just cuts.
Got it. Okay.
I mean, if you want to really investigate it, you can roll an investigation check.
I do.
Roll an investigation check.
Red just wants to light
That's
it
a
on fire.
14.
Okay.
That is a 15.
14 and 15, you're looking through it, and you're like, oh, this is just hunks of meat, whatever. And then, Elysia, I would imagine you don't mind digging into it.
No, I do not.
As you do, you pull out something that seems extremely familiar to a human femur with a little bit of meat still wrapped around it.
Oh my.
A femur. Interesting.
Yeah.
And she's like holding it up, just like looking at it.
Is that a human femur?
Yes, it is.
Humanoid, at least.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I don't really. It comes from an individual. That's for sure.
well,
I wonder if the doctor could do. She's gonna take the femur with her back with her.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
please get rid of the meat on it. It smells disgusting.
I knew she would.
You knew.
Oh yeah, it is awful. This is a solid like 3-day-old, if not more.
Oh,
Like you don't know how long it's been like exposed to the elements prior to being placed here.
I mean, it just smells like bad meat at the butcher. That's been left out in the sun for a while.
I mean, that's not exactly a pleasant smell, is it?
It's a smell of
So-
life.
It's the smell of death. And
No, it's a
decay.
smell of life. Death is a part of life.
So
I suppose.
Rock is gonna look back over his shoulder to the two of them
Yeah.
because there's really not much space for him to like turn around. Sadly enough, and he's gonna be like, can either of you, pray tell, move the earth around us? Maybe make an exit instead of having us go all the way back to where we were.
I mean, if you wanted fire, I could do
Hold on.
that, but
Hold on,
oh,
baby. I'm looking at every. I'm sorry. All I can do is make the earth tremor a little bit.
Mm.
I don't
That's-
think that's gonna help. I can.
mm-mm.
Well, I'm gonna have to scuttle
Um,
backwards then if we are to leave. I was really hoping not to need to.
I mean, I know how you feel. She's still like, just like, goddamn horns.
I would say if you squeeze, there's a decent chance you can get turned around. Dracix.
He's 6.5 feet tall.
I know.
And you can bend yourself in
Elysia
half
starts-
unless you're gigantic.
Elysia starts
As a
like
person who
digging
is
around
a-
him.
Roll.
You can totally turn around.
Roll an athletics check, Dracix,
Let's see how well
to
this goes.
muscle your way to turn around.
I mean, you can just walk backwards.
Okay. That's a
22.
Yeah,
Jesus.
let's see. If I can do it,
22. Oh yeah, you're just like I'm had enough of this shit, and you just forcefully get yourself turned around.
Elysia's still digging around there. It's like, oh,
You are now face to face with each other.
Oh, well,
this point-
hello.
At this point, he just like looks to the two of them. And he just goes, just grab onto me, and I will get us out of here.
Oh, Red for sure just like sits down on his back.
This is everything I didn't know I wanted.
Drac is now a Gator Express.
Okay.
what the horns are just scraping the top, and she's just bundled down and everything.
I would
She
say-
full on crosses her feet at the ankle and is kind of just like looking at her nails.
I'll let you choose, Dracix. Give me a strength or constitution check. Now we know which one you're going with. It
Oh,
will
gee.
affect the DC.
I'm gonna go with strength.
Okay.
Don't fail me now.
Oh no.
That's a 10.
Oh.
You. Let me see here.
If
All right.
Elysia notices he's struggling, she like gets up and all.
Oh,
I'm
Red does
gonna
not. Red
roll
will run.
a D100,
Oh no.
and I'll say you have a 30% chance of gaining a
jeez.
point of exhaustion. So if I roll a 70 or higher, you will be exhausted.
Okay. That's fine.
Roll a 94.
Oh no.
You take a point of exhaustion,
No.
but you make it. You are sweating. You are sore. You have not physically worked like this. Like, you're a pretty hardy dragonborn. You work on the open oceans. You are never just that kind of merchant or individual who's like, oh, I'm just going to sit around the skyship and do nothing. No, you try to help here and there. You have some basic general knowledge, but this is sheer physical power and endurance, and it's just been a while. It's been a minute, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that tracks. That's true.
That tracks. But you guys make it back?
By the time he gets back, he just like kind of like stands at the bottom of the. Of
You
the,
stand and you do the crack of the bag. You're like, oh, and audibly, both of you hear crack, 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 pop.
No, he waits for them to get off him and actually start climbing up before
it-
he does it. And if they were to look back, they would see him like kind of like clawing at the walls. It's like, okay, straighten out the back. All right, okay, I'm standing up. And now he twists his waist, and all they hear is just crack, 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 crack.
I know some stretches that
I
might
got some
help with that.
stretches.
I know
Uh,
those stretches.
I'm a
I
doctor, but not a chiropractor.
I might also have some stuff that might help if your muscles are sore.
It's just been a while since I've had to exert myself like that.
Uh,
I
Well-
used to do this at least hourly, if not
well,
every 10 minutes.
thank you. I know I'm kind of big.
No, that wasn't the case.
Anytime you want some more exercise like that, just let me know. I will be more than happy.
You
Yes, I
all
noticed how comfortable you are.
you all head up the rope.
Uh-huh.
She is absolutely like smirking and giggling about this whole thing.
Considering your role earlier, Drakex, it's now that you're able to put it together and realize that the tunnel leads in a direction that lines up with heading straight towards the edge of the island.
Yeah, so when he comes up, he actually just like his feet are still inside of the hole as he looks in the general direction
Mhm.
of the way that the tunnel is. He was like, huh. So this actually does reach out to the edge.
Interesting.
And considering how the island usually sits right at the edge of the cloud sea, they would by merit still be within as they're inside the tunnel. And then when
Uh,
it drops, they would be able to come out.
Does it look like it's big enough for sky sharks to be able to use it?
Your experience with the one you've seen, it seems with the one you've seen, it seems to be more than enough space.
They saw pups.
Mm,
Um,
About what time of day is it right now?
I would say with conversations at the ranch stead, walking out here,
Mm-hmm.
then you only want a half hour in and out. It's probably early afternoon.
So I'm thinking we might talk to the other family. They haven't been attacked yet, but there is a possibility two families already have, and they may not know much of anything, but if we go ahead and say, hey, these other two families were attacked, we helped out with one, we're looking into it. If something does happen, they might reach out to us whenever it does.
Yes, and since we do also know the general direction of this, we may be able to, I guess, propose an idea for where an exit may be,
Yeah.
depending
As just hold on real quick. As Elysia kind of sits down and takes out her journal and starts writing about the tunnel, and kind of like essentially like found a femur here. Like kind of tries to like draw it out and everything
Yeah.
as much as she can remember.
And as you come up with, at this point, you do realize that Nathan is still there. And he just is staring
And
dead
Elysia's holding
at
a
the
fucking
femur.
Yes. Oh, hi Nathan.
Hi.
Found this in the hole. I'm gonna take
That's
it back.
weird.
Yeah. Yes.
I-
It's very weird.
You're weird.
That's rather rude. Now, I think probably someone should either fill in this hole or cover it in some way, because I have a sneaking suspicion with the bait of old human flesh and the size of the tunnel and the direction the tunnel is going, that this is probably what is drawing the sharks here in the first place.
not to agree.
So, if you could either have someone, or yourself for that matter, put something over the hole big enough to keep out the sharks, or fill in the hole, or something, it will help prevent some things.
Yeah, I'd say I could get it filled in.
Good. Now, I think we should also make a trip over to the moss scales and see if maybe perhaps there's another area there.
That does actually sound like the best idea we have.
Okay. Let's head that way, and then we'll also hit up the other neighbors as well. And like I said, I haven't heard of any attacks from them, but if something happens, they might come to us first. Oh God, I can't believe I'm inviting people to come over.
And
You'll get used to it after a while.
As she
So
kind of
which-
puts the
there's been
fever in her bag.
two in discussion. Which ranch home, which family are you heading to?
The one with the attack, the moss scales?
Mhm.
Okay. So as you gather yourselves towards the Mosscales family home. Eva, you have been handling your business there in the Castle City proper. I misspoke earlier. I said capital. I meant to say Castle City proper. You'll be remaining there for the duration of the night into a long rest.
If allowed.
Okay. No one comes and gets you. No one even knows where you are, really. At least as far as those individuals you met the other day. Doctor, you charter a ride back. After a couple of hours have passed, your timelines are rapidly approaching together. But for now, that is where we're going to end tonight's session for our second episode of the Skytorn.
Ooh.
All right.
I'm sure
Very
you all would.
nice.
I'm sure you all would love to play for the next 12 hours straight. But
Yep.
Yeah, that's an option, sure.
I want to get off at some point because I was promised turkey tomorrow.
yeah. So with that, yes, we'll end tonight's episode. I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you. I saw some fantastic new follows in there. Thank you so much for the follows. We greatly appreciate it. And I'm just going to keep it very simple. From everybody here at Player Hater Gaming, to those of you that do enjoy tomorrow's holiday, please make sure you do so with fun. Don't overstuff yourselves, but do enjoy the delicious food, enjoy the family you're around, and I just really hope tomorrow is a great day for those that do and those that do not celebrate tomorrow's holiday. Just have a good one. If you've enjoyed tonight's fun shenanigans, I believe our lovely Twisted Perceptions will be back on for next Sunday. Is that correct, David, so far?
So far,
So far?
that is the actual consensus.
I know we had a few of our cast members out and down with some seasonal flu and some other things. Hopefully everyone has recovered properly. I believe they have. I have not heard otherwise. So if you enjoyed everything here, please, please, please come on back for Sunday night at the same starting time, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, for Twisted Perceptions. The cast is amazing. Their game master Ford is very creative the way he DMs. I really enjoy watching, and also I'm glad they're a part of us now, truly and fully. So from everybody here, have a good one, and we look forward to telling this fantastic tale throughout the coming, who knows how long this tale will last.
All right.
Well, good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, folks.
Good night.